Most devastating loss in the SPL. We've seen that a few times today. Anyway, into game 2 we go. Can Eager come back and cause this a split?
But it just wasn't enough. DJ closing the gap there into the sash. This game was dead even less than 5 minutes ago, and now it's 2 Phoenixes and a triple room from TheBest. Crush coming through, and that's going to be another kill.
Zapman's now in trouble as well. He will ricochet for a double kill! Now you mentioned Arachne, played by Varizial that game, and how much of an impact it had in that game. What about the Artemis though? PandaCat's 100% undefeated on this in the
I mean, here's the thing though, is like the Artemis just got that first blood because djpernicus got chased in the dual lane. If he doesn't have that lead, maybe that fight goes a little bit differently.
That gold was the only difference?
I mean, it was, we saw it at like 600 early on. And then once the gold 3 came in, Zapman can't fight into that, right? Uller is a god who really likes to brawl and fight, but against an Artemis who is queen at that, and she has a gold lead, you're just lost.
Well, one of the queens of the dual lane has been taken off. Jingwei not available again, and once again Eagle will ban away the Thor, so same rinse repeat so far in the ban section.
Enemy here looking to ban away the Circuit once again, so keeping that away from the hands of djpernicus and Eager. Are they going to switch it up? And it is. It's the Ryzen locked away from Chaos, having none of it.
So what will we see enemy go to instead then? Because they first picked
Could be the
Ryzen
Zeus.
last time round. Zeus is available as well. Scylla also on the table.
I don't know if they really want to play Scylla. I'm not exactly sure how much Chaos has practiced this. And it's going to be the Artemis. So they have the 100% win rate on Artemis. Why not go back to it?
They're going with the lucky dice there. They're like, guys, we're 100%, just pick it. We'll be fine.
We've seen first pick Nemesises. We've seen first picked Artemises. We've seen like the craziest first picks during this split.
Wouldn't mind seeing Zapman potentially go for Anhur here.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. We've seen Anhur first pick for him. Really likes to respect, or really respects the god. Also very good at immuning out that board, right? You can hit the Desert's Fury as it comes out. So that's going to be Ravana and Janus.
And the honest pick, take it away from Khaos, who's had a great season on it. We're not going to see the Scylla coming out from TheBest, though, which is one of his best gods so far this season. Robin for the solo laner Divios is his go-to this season as well. So he just wants a confident solo lane here.
Yeah, Robin, is the most picked Divios, has played 7 games out of the 20-some-odd he's played. Guan Yu for PainDeViande once again. This Artemis Guan Yu dual lane is very deadly. Gain lane control early.
Get a crit.
I mean, the biggest thing, right, is you just think about it. Talu Assault groups all the minions, and then Artemis, even though she has the golden bow, she can also clear now fully with her volley.
Well, Eager had some idea that Nemesis was going to get run by enemy because they banned it the first game. This game, though, they let it through. They don't take it themselves, and enemy are going to default straight to that Nemesis.
Sobek going to be locked in for Eager. I expect to see enemy ban away the Awelish, or at the very least, Eager's kind of baiting out the Awelish ban. That's also a possibility.
I agree with that one. Isis taken off by Eager, so
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, you want to take as many of the gods away from him. To be fair, though, what we've seen out of Chaos this season, mainly Janus, Sol, and Zeus.
I feel like he's going to default to Zeus here. I don't know if it's the best in the composition. Obviously, you want to ban away the Isis because Nemesis struggles in the early game. So making sure you eliminate that highest pressure mid lane you can have is really intelligent. And actually, Eager, they're going to ban away the Scylla.
Yeah, but I mean, his pressure late game as well is the one there. But the last ban coming through is going to be the Awelix, as you expected, against the with the Sobek. You don't want to give them both. Eager then with the option here. Already got the solo. They could look for the Hunter now.
Could just be the Anhur we had expected. They already know the dual lane. And it's going to be a Cabrakan jungle. That is 100% DJ, because he actually ran this last year when djpernicus played for PainDeViande before he got kicked off of that enemy roster. He did run a lot of frontline junglers like the Cabrakan.
Well, we'll see how it works out for him, because now enemy, they can answer back one more time. Now, how's Nemesis versus Cabrakan, though?
I mean, it's kind of the same thing where he's just like, he just loses a ton of protections and he doesn't have a lot to get away. He does have his Seismic Crush, so he can escape a lot of those slows.
Marauder going to lock in that Sun Wukong for himself. Still a flex pick on Sun Wukong and Guan Yu, but there is the Zeus that we expected after the bans coming through. Eager with their final pick, and it's all up to Zapman. What is Zap going to do?
Is he going to go back to the Azur? Obviously, he couldn't really do much with how far behind his team was last game, but he definitely had a plan coming into this one. It was against the same dual lane, but it's going to be the Anhur. Playing it safe, a lot of options, also has that ultimate to counter out Artemis Boar.
There's a lot of things to do in that lane that will be very, very helpful for him. The leap, the pillar will keep him away from potential targets coming in with the slows as well, and obviously the Desert Fury too. Eager's composition on paper here, very interesting. I think they're going to rely a lot of this damage, though, is on after Cabrakan falls off in the mid game in terms of a full tank. It's a lot of focus on Janus and Anhur to perform here.
It's going to be hard for DJ. He was really pressured out of the last game. We'll see if he can recover a little bit better into game 2 as enemy look to 2-0 Eager. Oh, but PandaCat with rotation. Desert's Fury on point.
Yo, PandaCat is on fire right now.
Purification forced by Homiefe. Homiefe trying to make it work, but Khaos definitely making it work. Aror takes a spill. 4 kills in total for enemy. Here
Actually
comes
going to
enemy.
end.
They're going to skip the Phoenix. The surprise win from enemy. Luminosity had no idea.
Well, enemy have got one in the bag against Eager so far. If they tie this up and take 2-0 here against Eager, they're even going into potentially DreamHack for both if they both go the right way.
I want to see what djpernicus does in the jungle here because he really got pressured out by Varizial last time. Now he's in kind of a little bit of a mismatch where you're up against you build into this or you play this tanky Guardian in the jungle and you pick it into the Nemesis who excels at taking out tanky Guardians.
Well, keep it on Pernicus because he's not picked up boots, so I'm expecting a power potion potentially coming out here, and we'll just see if he does go for that in his inventory, or is he going to be the boots? It is going to be power pot, so double power pot for Eager. Meanwhile, left-hand side, no power potions from enemy here. They may just be willing to give up the early game aggression coming out from the Janus and the Cabrakan now, I guess, because of the situation of the power pots.
Very deep wards right now for Eager. You can see wanting to get full vision on enemy. They do have the Ravana and the Cabrakan, 2 gods that have a lot of burst damage early, a lot of control as well, looking at Ravana who can slow you or reach you depending on which way he goes into. And potentially shutting down that Nemesis could be important. You know, you don't want her to get rolling early. You want her to struggle here, and she's paired with the Zeus. And if one of them gets behind, you can really start putting pressure.
I was going to say, there's multiple targets you want to make sure you try and punish. If you can just keep Varizial even, to be fair, and punish the Zeus or punish the Artemis, if you can find one of those 2 targets, it can put a lot of pressure on.
The biggest problem is it's always so hard fighting into a Zeus who's playing well, right? Even if they're getting pressured, as long as they have really good positioning, which Khaos probably has the best positioning next to the best when it comes to mid laners, they could just get off so much damage.
Enemy going to do the speed into blue, and meanwhile Eager do the blue into speed as per usual. DJ will end up in mid lane, but the mid lane's already pushed, so they're going to get right harpies for free. On the left-hand side, Varizial will definitely soak a wave of experience with Marauder one more time, giving Divios a bit of an experience advantage over in that solo lane.
Which is going to be important for Divios. He actually almost got soloed last game as DJ was getting chased through the jungle. We'll see if he does a little bit better in this Ravana versus Wukong matchup. Fire Elementals will go the way of Eager, however.
The left-hand harpy is going to go the way of Eager, sorry.
It was the enemy got
you
the,
got me so
the fire.
confused.
I confused myself.
Well, left harpies
Eager enemy, man. What do you want me to do?
Eager have a small advantage then in this window with both mid harpies going the way of them. They're going to farm on mid lane as well. They've still got back harpies to take as well as enemy Khaos and Varizial will head over to the back harpies.
And Marauder here getting out traded against Divios early on. Taking a look at the potions, it seems to be pretty even right now. 3 and 2 for Marauder, 3 and 2 for Divios here. But look at this, djpernicus.
He does have Blink as well,
this
just
is
keep
very
that one
early.
on. He's got the Relic of Blink, and maybe he smells something here, Marauder. I'm not sure if he does. He's playing quite far back. I guess he's waiting for the next minion wave to come in. Jingle Bang was just used from him. If Jingle Bang gets used and Divas can find a route, he will blink and initiate, and there we go. But immediately, Eagle! And he just runs away.
And pretty good note there for Marauder is that he does burn the Blink relic of djpernicus, so he's not going to have that online, as well as DJ kind of sitting around in that jungle for quite some time, losing out on a little bit of farm. He's going to be able to hit 5 off this wave and maybe another set of back harpies, though.
I'm not too upset about that gank, though, from DJ, even though he lost his
It was a nice try.
He shared the experience with Divios, where Divios was ahead anyway in experience, so even the experience gain up, so he's not lost anything, Divios, in that lane on the gank, but he did remind Marauder that there is pressure from the jungler.
That's the dash on by PainDeViande. Oh, a roar. That could have been a kill if he connected, or at least a lot of damage onto PainDeViande. Instead, Varizial, level 5, has made the rotation into this dual lane.
Yeah,
he's going to back off, though. The ward was passed as he made his way over.
So Varizial going to head back to mid lane one more time, level 5 at the moment. Still not retreat back to base just yet, a little bit too early for that one. And they just, like we expected, enemy just giving up the early game aggression in the mid lane. They're not looking to overdo things, especially with the Nemesis jungle at the moment.
This shows a lot of experience coming out of enemy, and surprising on a roster full of new players, because what happens is a lot of times teams will carry over their momentum from a game 1 victory, especially if it's dominating, and just really start to just be overly aggressive and get punished for it. And you are going to get punished if you get overly aggressive when you don't have the comp to do that against Eager. The fact that they've now completely switched gears from this hyper aggro comp into a let's farm into the late game, and they're doing it so flawlessly, it shows a lot.
The rotations are still good enough to soak up that whole wave of experience in the mid lane and the gold. However, there. Eager now looking to invade this red buff
Oh,
position.
they're gonna
Pike someone
catch-
in the jungle. Varizial out of position. Varizial in a lot of trouble. He's going to steal the protections, though, through space and time off the mark, but the dash is good to get him away from danger. However, Eager can look for the invade.
It looks like they're going to successfully be able to get this red buff, but look at this enemy. They're looking to collapse. PandaCat's here. Same with PainDeViande.
Don't think
Best
the
of
collapse is a
portals
good
out.
idea, though.
And the rotation from Zapman. He's going to find 2 isolated, looking for the Zeus, but not enough
Detonate's
damage.
good, but the leap's better in hand confirms Zapman first blood. He knew they were going to come, but PainDeViande is here, and he's going to look for the cavalry charge and stun, but Zapman realizing
No way
he's
to
going
get out.
stun purifies, still going to pay the price.
Still worth it. First blood. Last time it was PandaCat to find that first kill. Instead, Zapman's having none of it. He completely outplays enemy there. 1 versus 2. Jumps forward, gets the last auto.
And
Excellent.
The only reason Zap knew he could do that is because Chaos's ultimate was down. He knew the Chaos ult was down, he knew Varizial's ult was down. He's like, well, in this case, I'm pretty sure I can kill you before you can kill me as an Anhur. My in-hands are stronger than yours, Zeus, and that's what happened.
And you could see doing 1,200 of the 1,800 damage that Eager put out that fight, hitting almost every single tick of that Desert's Fury. Really well played.
See, this is why I like seeing Zapman on Anhur as well. He's more aggressive. I mean, his ult can be aggressive.
He just
but
got
he
behind
early.
in game 1, to be
I
fair,
agree.
right? It wasn't anything he could do about it, and, you know, just Eager slowly collapsed into despair. His enemy took their aggressive composition, took their lead, and then just put it... They just forced it down Eager, and then they made the one misplay at the Gold Fury, and then from there, there wasn't anything Eager could do about it. It was all about whether enemy would throw away their lead or
Well,
not.
let's see if Zapman, with that small gold lead he's got over PandaCat now, can try and punish PandaCat the same way as enemy did the game before. Speed buff being taken by Varizial here. Nobody at the Gold Fury at the moment, though. Everybody groups up on the speed buff side. Look how many members of Eager are there just to make sure that gets taken.
They don't want to get invaded. Obviously, they don't want Varizial to get anything rolling. They tried to target him out for first blood. Instead, they switched over to Khaos. And you can see Khaos stopped going for that Bancroft's talent, which he was working on, switching over to the boots because he knows he needs to escape.
Oh, the man players coming out from both teams. Desert Fury popped, as is the ball. PandaCat going to try and run away through space and time. Connects from the best of portal.
Surprise!
Give Zap an option to pick up the kill. PandaCat goes down, but in the jungle, DJ's in trouble now as PainDeViande combines with Khaos to pick up the kill.
1 for 1. Zapman, though, finding the first 2 kills for Eager, going to have a lead over PandaCat. And it's a call for Eager to retreat. Aror could be in trouble. You can see PainDeViande lurking around the jungle, but he has no follow-up. Just trying to get this wave for down. Zapman has a 600 gold lead now over this Artemis, and that's what you want, because Artemis excels when she can take the fights. But if she's behind an item, it gets very hard.
2-2 is the scoreline. Eager lead a little bit in terms of gold at the moment, but it's all pretty much square between these two teams. 1,000 experience, though, isn't nothing to sniff about. It's not compared to the lead we saw last time at this stage of the game, though.
I mean, we're seeing about a 1-level lead on a couple players here. Zapman and Aror, excuse me, Zapman and TheBest. However, DJ is actually behind Varizial, and Divios is behind Marauder, so a little bit of an even trade there.
That's more Marauder making the rotations to mid a little bit earlier than Divios with that 72 transformations, allowing him to get there, soak that wave before Divios could, and then Divios ended up splitting it a little bit when we had that little fight in the jungle there. But Zapman getting off to a 2-1 start at the moment. Ninja Tabby online from him as well, so wants a little bit more attack speed for this build early on.
And a lot of times you'll see him go Ninja Tabi if he doesn't plan on going Ick-File, so we could see him build into the Yassi and then into the Chin. So he just likes that extra attack speed to compensate for the lack of that.
And credit where it's due, Zapman was the aggressor in that fight against PandaCat, but it was TheBest that confirmed the kill more than anything, hitting him with the ultimate as well as the portal, setting up Zap to be able to pick that one up. But in the jungle, enemy did a good job of answering back.
And now the 3v3 in mid. You can see the Hunters actually start to rotate over. Those left-hand Harpies are going to be spawning here in about 15 seconds as Zapman is ready to split this farm. The rest of his team actually going to rotate over to the right one, so that is a 3v3. And it looks like Soul Laners are going to make an appearance
They
as
need
well.
to be careful of this because PandaCat's in lane at the moment, and you can see Zap is going to
Auror's
rotate,
dead.
but Auror's in a lot of trouble. He's dead already through space and time from Best, off the mark, hitting anybody. As Marauder pops the ultimate, Zapman being here, he's not going to get anything out of it now. And now the left Harpies are here, but look at the enemy rotation straight over for them again. And Zap may even lose them, as well as a wave of experience he just lost to the tower as well.
I mean, it's going to be him versus Varizial there. I think Zapman secured that. I wasn't watching the experience on to Varizial. However, another kill goes the way of enemy. Really well executed. And that's what you want from your Nemesis, right? Find one of those tanky targets, ult them, and then make sure the rest of your team follows up, because especially looking at Sobek, who has a lot of options to escape, if you let him get away, it's just going to be a wasted ultimate. And a really good job there by Khaos, just dropping the Lightning Storm on top, getting a couple detonate stacks, and just enough damage to secure the kill.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Zapman did get those Harpies, though. Just getting the gold differential between him and PandaCat as well. PandaCat farmed a whole wave of minions there ahead of him. Still up in gold at the moment is Zapman. So It looks like he's going to be fine for now. Is Marauder going to turn into the jungle to go and do the speed buff again? Make sure he's still there. Nobody invaded. Nope, everyone's good. Okay, back to lane we go. The life of a solo lane.
And actually a surprise Gold Fury coming out. We see this
Every
a lot
game.
from any enemy. They were able to get the first one. This is going to be a free Gold Fury. There's no one even close from Eager.
And that's the second time.
Caught sleeping.
That's the second time they've had 3 members of Eager go over for the speed buff to share the experience and leave the Gold Fury undefended and unwarded and allow enemy just to sneak in.
Enemy are so good at abusing poor rotations from other teams. The second they recognize that those players have not only left the map, but they don't have vision on that Gold Fury, they start it up. And this is just... It's atrocious at this point that enemy are able to get away with this, even against the best teams in the world, right? Soar and Eager, they fall for it too. If it's one thing if you do it against Envy, Randozos, and Allegiance, but if you're a team looking to vie for DreamHack and you still get caught with your pants down on this Gold Fury plays, it's really bad.
There's a reason they're at the top of the charts for most Gold Furies so far.
58, I think now reaching into the 60s with these past 2 games.
It doesn't matter how long the game is. They're still getting Gold Furies in them anyway and get themselves a good lead, even if they're losing the games too. So with that, enemy just can continue to farm up and keep things going at this pace that they want to set themselves. They've got Varizial on the Nemesis, so the longer the game goes, the more dangerous this will become and be able to...
This is much better for Eager, though. Game 1, it was just a train wreck for them. They just lost pressure early, and slowly enemies started to gain all these leads. It's only about 1,000 gold difference at 9 minutes into the match. That's so much better for Eager. And even if enemy win a fight, they still have a chance. Last time it was, they got so far behind early on, it was nearly impossible for them to come back.
And the Cabrakan pick from djpernicus here. We've got right hard piece spawning here, but other than that one gank on the right hand side,
hasn't done much.
We've not seen him do much, really.
I mean, he's poked a little bit. You can see them there, bottom of the damage with TheBest and Aror. And TheBest actually missing a couple abilities as well in some of these engagements. Hasn't been able to connect everything he wants.
Pain going to catch 2 people back in, and only one's going to go back now. Aror's going to stay in mid, realizing something's up. But it does mean they're going to give up the right-hand harpies here. The left ones are about to spawn. Zapman is in position for them, though, as is Eager. PandaCat going to rotate, as well as Varizial and Khaos, but a good pillar.
This is a bad fight for Eager.
Something up for a second.
DJ is still coming out of spawn. They need to be careful about forcing this, but
Divios
Divios actually teleports in.
They have to try and force it if they're going to do it now for the teleport, but the bad news is they're not going to be able to force it. PainDeViande going to lead the forefront. Meanwhile, Marauder can just keep going over there, but he's going to teleport in. And now Zapman under pressure from PainDeViande, who's at half health at the moment. Best gets away with his ult, but we're going to use through space and time to try and create a zone. Divios does pick up Khaos, though, as he left him alone.
And Best barely managed to get out as well. The team of Eager surrounding Marauder, but PandaCat and PainDeViande lurking in the corners. Divios actually gets rooted, gets the knockup, but there's meditation from Pain, going to keep everyone healthy, and now Divios is in a world of hurt. He's going to be isolated. He falls, and now djpernicus finally rotating, gets a lot of damage off onto PandaCat, but it's not enough to secure the kill. An enemy, they've already found 2. They're looking for the 3rd.
And you can see there straight away, we're going to see PandaCat fall back away from Zapman, trusting in the rest of his team to pick up the kill, worried that Zap was going to be around there. And Zap got zoned out by Varizial and Marauder very, very well from being able to get involved in that engagement at all.
That was, we actually saw Divios teleport in, and instead of enemy just backing off scared and waiting for the rotation from Marauder, PainDeViande just went aggressive. So even if Divios is in his backline, he's still zoning out and doing damage to 3 members. He does just that, forces out, I think, 1 set of purification, and then by the time Walrus rotates in, or excuse me, Marauder rotates in, all he does is isolate Best in the backline, force Best to portal out, and he can't be a part of that team fight.
Meditate was huge as well from PainDeViande there. You saw Divios go all in on PandaCat. PandaCat was very, very close to death, but the healing comes into play once again. You can see them on the graphs there, 2,800 already. It's not that much, but important heals are important heals.
I mean, look at the damage on the board, right? I mean, that's more healing than Best has done damage. And I talked about how Best was kind of low on the damage charts before that last fight. Only had about 800 to his name. He only got off 700 damage as a Janus with penetration boots and fully stacked Doom Orb. I mean, you got to be doing more than that.
Hey, I mean, if you could only use the unstable vortex for damage, you haven't used the portals defensively the whole time, and you have 3 space and time defensively for the most part, then you're not going to find as much damage on those charts, and that's why the Best is kind of struggling here. Bancroft's talent, though, for Khaos on this Zeus. We've seen a lot more of this Bancroft's talent coming back slowly but surely this season.
And this is kind of a perfect item for Zeus, right? Because the whole idea on Zeus is that, well, you can't really protect yourself. All you can do is try and kill them before they kill you. And if he's getting isolated by, say, Divios in the backline, the lower his health goes, the more damage that is coming out of Bancroft's talent, which means the more likely he's going to be able to kill Divios. Also has a little bit of magical lifesteal as well, which can help you make sure to have, or excuse me, be at 100% even when you get poked out.
Okay, so Hazard about to base, picks up his second relic now, so Sanctuary Online. Talking about other relics, you can see djpernicus is a little bit off the market here in level 12 yet, so no second relic for him, or Aror, who is currently level 10, to PainDeViande's level 11 at the moment. So second relics, when they come online, they will start making an impact, and the second Gold Fury about to spawn. It's about time you need those relics.
And last game, that second Gold Fury was the nail in the coffin for Eager. After that, enemy just snowballed to victory. And they need to make sure not to give up this one, because if enemy can get a second unprotected Gold Fury, it's really bad. Aurora and DJ going aggressive though.
DJ is going to get the ult off and in a good place too, but Khaos with the ultimate in response is going to force Pernicus away. Great ultimate from TheBest, but Best is in trouble as well. Varizial fighting multiple targets on his own at the back as Divios rotates in, looking for the punch power onto PandaCat. Overhead kick, not enough for the kill, and he's actually going to lifesteal off those creeps.
DJ's lazy backing. Oh, DJ was lazy backing, but it's going to be okay for now. Divios trying to get out. Varizial looking to chase him down. Varizial, no ult online.
Marauder looking for TheBest though. Monkey going to be popped. Best has to get to a portal as soon as possible. Jingu Bang comes through in a nice transformation, gets Marauder a kill, and he gets out of dodge.
And another, again, Artemis barely escaping with her life. Not going to be here for this Gold Fury fight, but enemy are still starting it up. This is a little bit risky.
But Zeus is going to ward them all away one more time. You see the overhead kick come up from Demas, but Demas, without that overhead kick or his ultimate, is being surrounded now by the members of enemy, and Marauder will get it again with a Jingu Bang. Auror's trying to zone Khaos and put some damage on, blocking back into a danger zone, but the danger zone's not there anymore because PandaCat has managed to force them away. Zapman keeping them at bay from Marauder, just keeping them out of the fight.
This is Marauder for me. This is all Marauder. Not even in that engagement that just happened, but earlier on, just completely zoning out all the carries on Eager. He's isolating TheBest. He has this massive lead on him. It's going to be the second Gold Fury for enemy this match. And we saw it just there, just chasing down TheBest. The fight was over, and he's still just, this Sun Wukong is so hard to lock down, and a really good job by Marauder to abuse that fact.
Very surprised though that we saw enemy doing the Gold Fury and then immediately engage, and we didn't see Eager go on the aggressive with that. They kind of initiate for a second, then backed away, worried about the burst from Khaos.
I mean, a lot of the problem right now is they can't seem to lock down their targets. Once again, PandaCat escaping with like no life.
What's focus priority here? Is it Zeus first, then PandaCat?
It seems to be PandaCat is the one that Eager are going for. Maybe they could switch off to Zeus right now because going for PandaCat's not working. DJ walls him off, and then PandaCat does not panic, holds everything, turns around, and now he's going to fight Zapman.
The blink! The boar off the mark! But the boar connects as Zapman walks back into it. Tusky's OP now, man.
He's so
Tusky
good.
would have sat there and laughed normally, but that was good.
And Zapman caught lazy. I mean, that's not even lazy backing, to be fair. That's at his tier 2. Not expecting PandaCat to have the blink in that situation. Doesn't have the ward coverage as well. And PandaCat gets a sneaky little play on Zap.
And these two go way back. These two have fought tooth and nail over and over again. Both can be both very aggressive players. PandaCat more so nowadays. Zapman's a more consistent player at making the plays right at the right time.
And PandaCat, it seems, busted out of the cage for this matchup. Zapman put him in the cage last time. Remember that?
Well, I mean,
a little bit of banter.
It's a banter back and forth between these two. I know they get on okay, though. But this dual lane comparison between the two, as in Aror and Zapman versus Pain and PandaCat, those two go back of days of old, and at the moment, this could be the very first time that PandaCat and PainDeViande decisively beat Aror and Zapman in a lane.
I mean, this is...
The team comes into play as well.
This is pretty decisive. I mean, this is just really well played by everyone on enemy, and just looking so good. After starting to falter there in the middle of the split, when it comes down to crunch time this week 9, I mean, they are completely dominating Eager.
Realistically, the start to the season, I thought they would go to DreamHack just based off the start.
I did too.
More than anything. They'll coast.
I thought
they'll probably drop and coast. But
I thought this was the danger week for them, where having to face Eager Denial, if you get 2-0'd by Eager, it looks really bad because now it's in Denial has the destiny in their own hands. But now I am completely against everything I had said before after seeing this performance.
Looking very good against Eager here. Eager, though, not out of it just yet, though. It is 16 minutes in. The gold is a little bit closer than it was last time round at this stage of the game. All the towers still standing for both teams, however. Even those two Gold Furies, though, do go the way of enemy.
Ooh, DJ there, running into PainDeViande in the jungle, and you could see the call was a little bit scared there as TheBest ults. PandaCat waves his camera around. He's a little bit surprised himself. And that was just, I mean, djpernicus right now, level 12, 17 minutes in. The thing that is really bad for these frontline junglers, like, say, the Cabrakan, is when they get behind, they can't be effective because he needs to be in the fight doing damage as well as receiving damage.
So enemy pressure the left-hand side there, trying to force a rotation. And while they're forcing this rotation from Eager, you could also see Varizial was trying to find a pick in the jungle now, but Varizial's in a bit of trouble himself there if he's not careful, as Sobek and Cabrakan are around him, but he's going to be able to dip back towards his team in safety. He's also got Khaos on the right.
Look at this build from Varizial.
They're just going to push in here, enemy, and Eager going to relinquish control of their jungle.
This is just pure utility build. Best getting pressured by Marauder. He's not next to a wall. This is trouble.
No, but the monkey's going to come out. They're not going to look for Pest. Instead, they're going to try and reset after the forced engagement. But a good pillar from Zapman will slow them down a second. But the red buff is available for them. They're going to look to try and steal this one away. Best is low on mana. djpernicus trying to create a zone so Marauder can't get to him. As still, they steal the red buff away, enemy. But now the engage is on.
They're looking for Khaos, trying to isolate him, but the damage is too strong coming out from Marauder and Zeus. There's a good Desert Fury from Zapman, but not enough. The shell, the heals from enemy, and this is another fight in favor of PainDeViande and his team.
Tailwave going to come out from Aror, but it's not enough to get him away from Varizial who'll find the kill. PandaCat was even cheekily thinking about throwing over that rain of arrows over the wall.
I was just talking about it. Level 12 for the Cabrakan. The second he goes in, he's just going to get eliminated. Quickly, Sanctuary comes out from Khaos, and by the time that immunity ends, DJ's already dead.
And off the back of that fight, they're going to get a tier 1 tower on the left-hand side. They may even look for a tier 2 because they've got a full minion wave on its way as well, I believe. With 5 members grouped up here, they can look for this. Teleport is available for Marauder if he needs to go and defend. Nobody on the side of Eager looking to defend this one, though. They're going to give up a tier 2 in mid.
They have to. Zapman's going to be split pushing, maybe can get the tier 1. No teleport online for enemy right now outside of Marauder. And Marauder honestly could defend this. This is a 2-man split push. But look at these damage charts. The Best has just not been able to connect any of his abilities.
Luckily enough, Best has through space and time here, and he needs to look for an option for his team to get out. Zapman and him are on the run away from the danger, but in the jungle still they're being flanked round the side. Luckily, you're going to see one get out, but Zap's in trouble, and Zap needs a portal soon, but a good impale will get Khaos away from him.
And now enemy, they're just going to be grouping up. You can see they're actually conceding that tier 1 on the right-hand side because Divios, even though he's going to be able to get this, not very strong, in a strong position to split push even more. It's going to be this tier 1, and now enemy pressuring forward, looking to clear the map.
Tier 2, they're going to use the decoy as well to try and force this one, but Cabrakan's coming in through space and time, hits PandaCat. He's trapped in a circle. He was in the ring, but the ball's going to allow him to get out. Portal is good. Not enough damage, though. Aror credited for the kill with the lurk in the walls. Khaos trying to trade out with Pernicus. One detonate will be enough, but he's not got it yet. But he will find it eventually as Zapman picks up Khaos. Desert Fury's good on PainDeViande, who's trying to chase away.
PainDeViande has no mana. Meditation used as well. Not going to be off cooldown for 8 more seconds. Eager trying to chase him down. There's no way he's going to be getting out of this. It's just a matter of time and who the kill goes to. And it heads to Divios, but Eager managing to fight back. Zapman immediately turns his attention to the Gold Fury as well. And this is exactly what Eager needed. Being able to isolate PandaCat at the beginning of that fight. And honestly, the Best, connecting that ultimate as well as the portal.
Marauder is coming, and he's got reinforcements looking to try and defend this. Marauder's going to try and put some poke on Zap, and there's Varizial with him too. The Gold Fury gets reset, but Varizial pushed an awkward spot. But Zapman's the one in an awkward spot, really. He has to use Sanctuary, leaps on the spot to disperse them away from him. Marauder on top, dogs down. Varizial credit for the kill. 2v4, they take out Zapman. Now they're looking for another one.
I mean,
Will they be able to find it?
That's enough damage as well from Marauder. Best is eliminated. There comes the meditation for Varizial. Should have fall in response, but this is absolutely brutal. Eager managing to not only win the fight, but force all of enemy back to the base, but they can't finish the Gold Fury in time, and enemy able to hold on to their lead right now, still 6K in the lead, and they're going to be starting up this Gold Fury as well.
Eager had the chance there to try and pull him back in, but once again the Gold Fury is going to force them into an awkward situation because the mid lane there, the whole fight, enemy, we know they listen to the calls very, very well, and that call was a bad call, and the whole team listened to it, and by the time the call to disengage happened, Eager had already cleaned up that fight, overcommitted, but Eager didn't punish them. Instead,
Panda.
They gave him a Gold Fury, and now, well, DJ's going to run. He posts down the wall, but the wall's not on the mark, so Varizial's
nowhere to go.
PandaCat's going to slip through. He's going to slowly get beat down.
He does have his blink, but he's going to have to stay out of combat for 6 seconds, and enemy not going to let that happen. Aror might have also just got baited. You can see that portal from Janus, but Janus takes it. Now the team's looking to isolate out Khaos.
And he needs support, and there's the General to support him, but Khaos does fall. Shell not good enough. Marauder took a lot of poke too, as did Zap, who's going to disengage on the back of that as well. But a 1-for-1, while PandaCat gets a tier 1 tower in the right-hand side.
And only a couple more towers remain for Eager right now. The Best, level 16. He's so far behind this game. And I mean, Marauder's just done a phenomenal job of isolating about every single engagement. You can see top or second to his team. And Best still starting to chip away, though. We're starting to see a little bit more of these abilities connect onto key targets.
You mentioned Marauder there, and for me, Marauder's probably one of these people that you want to look at as potential for the future. Not just, he's stepped up so much from when we first saw him. In the relegation fight, when he was actually fighting against Baskin and the boys of Sobek then, he got destroyed by Baskin.
Oh.
His head dropped, and the whole of Twitch chat was like, this guy's bad, this guy's bad, this guy's bad. And he came back, he gets a spot on enemy out of nowhere, realistically, and then turns up like this. And he's been doing good performances week in, week out against established solo laners.
I mean, he's definitely turned it up, right? I still remember him just he outplayed Omega in lane and then outplayed himself looking to make this all-star kill. But I mean, there's just so few mistakes coming out from Marauder. He's been so consistent.
He's hitting that cusp.
It's kind of like that Baskin.
He's hitting that cusp of all the solo laners. That's my only worry, is that he'll start to feel himself. He'll feel himself and then he'll make a mistake and then he'll stop feeling himself anymore. But meanwhile, he's going to force the best ultimate again with through space and time.
Non-stop.
Pressuring him over and over again. Marauder's doing his job to a T.
And Sprint going to be popped for enemy. They're surging forward. They're going to be looking to isolate Divios. There's the ult on top of him. And the Best doesn't have a portal, but he will jump over the corner. Aurora getting very low as well. But enemy, they've already done their job. They forced all of Eager off that tier 2. And picked it up.
They get what they wanted. They got the tier 2 tower. They forced out a couple of ultimates as well. They still have Khaos and General Pain's ultimate available, so they're going to return their attention to the Fire Giant straight away. Nobody in position here from Eager to defend. Teleport may be available from Divios though, but is there a ward available?
Pernicus has Blink, but they're trying to put him in combat. He pushes forward. The Zeus ult right on top, and Pernicus is actually going for the kills. He finds a stun inside the lava pools. Khaos falls. Fire Giant swinging away at everyone. Enemy secure the Fire Giant somehow though.
They get the Fire Giant, but now Eager on the retreat from the Fire Giant team. Zapman being chased down by both Varizial and Marauder. Eager trying to turn around and help support him. Zap will get out of danger. Marauder on the front.
Enemy.
Doesn't have his ultimate available, but Varizial's got slows if he can find him. And
everyone grouped.
Can keep them going.
And now the team's focusing on Aror. There's the Nemesis ult already back up. And Aror taking so much damage. Marauder and PandaCat, combined for the kills. And now the team's looking for Zapman. He's going to jump away, but Marauder in Eagle form, surging forward 3v1. And the team's going to back off. It's going to be another tier 2, but enemy coming out ahead once again. 2 for 1 and the Fire Giant.
Just creating room for that tier 2 tower, as you said. The sustain is good enough for the Fire Giant. The conviction, they can go back to base happy bunnies here with all that golden in their hands to go and spend in the base.
Enemy, are they baiting? They might be baiting. I think they're trying to catch, yeah, look at this. PandaCat just barely hanging around the corner.
Crazy amounts of fighting there going on. Just so you know, there was 7,000 Fire Giant damage in that fight.
That's incredible. 7,000 Fire Giant damage? Yep. I mean, we saw that, right? DJ wasn't even looking for the steal, and that was really intelligent of him because he actually goes aggressive onto Khaos at the perfect time. The second the lava pool comes out, because what it goes is the Fire Giant slashes twice and then spawns the lava pools. He read that perfectly, and then he caged in Khaos, as well as there was someone else next to him, which means the fire pools double stacked. Khaos falls to it, however, enemy still managing to stay sustained and
Zap's
full.
in a bit of trouble here, going to get half health already, leaps away, but a wall has been forced by djpernicus as well. But in the jungle, the mighty jungle, some Wukong, he's there tonight.
And
I thought he was going to go all the way.
I thought he was too. DJ scaring him away, it seems. Level 15, almost 26 minutes into this match. This Cabrakan jungle has not worked. 1, 6, and 4 can't get anything rolling right now. And now enemy, they've got all the towers down. They've got their Fire Giant buff in hand. They're starting to siege up the final Phoenixes remaining.
They'd love the Phoenix on the left-hand side before this Gold Fury spawns, because then you can just fall back and pick that up too. Still, in the meanwhile, we can take a lot of poke onto Pain. There's no real minions here. PandaCat got to poke in. And Khaos not going to be able to find what he wants with the in-hands at the moment. And it looks like PandaCat's in a lot of trouble there. He has to try and get away, but Divios going to give chase with the punch power. Auror's going to flick him back into the danger, and Zap gets credit for the kill through space and time fire, but it doesn't find the mark. And Varizial's hunting the best now, knowing the portals are down. Portal used to escape as Khaos once again being picked on by Aror. Aror, though, is peeled to death. The body blocks were good. Khaos survives, and now they turn to Divios.
The conviction doing so much work there. Once again, Eager able to isolate out PandaCat in the back line, but it doesn't matter. Enemy respond with 2 kills. There's the third on Divios. I want to see healing done right now because PainDeViande has kept so many players alive. 16,000 So much effective healing coming in, and now enemy, they're looking for this middle Phoenix here, and Eager can't defend it.
It's going to take a while because PandaCat is dead, but the Fire Giant buff will help him out a little bit. Minions on the left-hand side, though. Only a couple remaining with a new minion wave coming in. It's not going to take too long to fall. There's not much DJ and TheBest can do from there, and they will fall down. Look at that, 16,000 healing, right? And look how many players are below 16,000 play damage.
I mean, that's all of
The
Eager
whole
at this
team.
point.
Yep.
Every single one of Eager doing less damage. And now 17,600 healing coming up for PainDeViande. Last Phoenix going to be Siege, but Aror has respawned. Divios in 20 seconds. Eager, they're going to make their move now. Curse is on.
They have to go in, and Aror is in low health already. Has to disappear. Detonate. Connection. Chaos Shell is down there, but Zapman trading with Varizial, keeping him busy. Not going to be able to force a commitment anymore. Our enemy, they're just going to hold for a minute, wait for the fire minions, and their buddy PandaCat or Zapman to get caught out. The portal will save him for a second.
Maybe.
The Sanctuary will save him for another second, but the Jingle Bang will not save him anymore.
Absolutely brutal. Marauder is playing on another level in this match, and they've taken out all 3 Phoenixes. They want to go to DreamHack. They want to go to Sweden here, and now they're on the edge of eliminating, or excuse me, hurting Eager's chances.
They're hurting Eager's chances for sure, as now the ult gets dropped from Chaos. It looks like enemy are going to climb to 18 and 6 here if they can hold. If they can hold is the question, and no, they cannot. Enemy 18 and 6, sat in second place, defeated Eager that a lot of people expected would go the way of Eager.
I thought that would go Eager. I didn't think it would be easy for them, but that looked easy for enemy.
It did.
Finding
They did
2
homework.
crucial wins, now having 18 wins to their name there, and Eager, they're the ones in jeopardy of losing their spot to DreamHack.
They did so much homework, enemy coincidence. You can see it in the playstyle and what they chose to do in picks and bans and everything. I mean, game 1 picks looked really janky, but it worked because they had a game plan in mind that worked out.
That was still an incredible game from all of enemy. Honestly, I think honestly they outdrafted Eager for most of the time.
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, when you see that comp on paper on game 1, I'm not so sure. But PandaCat had some pretty good plays in that game, in both games, to be fair. He played the Artemis twice. Still a 100% win record, though, Adonis.
And he first picked it, too. I mean, this is just a god that enemy seem to feel very comfortable with. No other SPL teams are really picking it up as regularly as enemy. And this was such a really good start to this first game where djpernicus gets chased in to that duo lane.
And you can see him just picking up a kill here. But guess what? We've also got PandaCat on the line. So while we're watching some of his highlights of these past 2 games, PandaCat, you there, buddy?
What's up, guys?
What's up, buddy? Listen, that was a great game again. Talk to me about this Artemis and your 100% win ratio.
I mean, I love Artemis. I've been playing her since Legion of Karens back in the day with Pain. Man, those are the days. Artemis, she's just so versatile, you know? Like, stun, blink. I mean, I love going blink on her. You guys saw every game I go blink. She's so good. I don't know.
Talk to me about the blink. Why do you go blink as opposed to like a more defensive sanctuary pickup on your relics?
Well, you see, the way I look at Artemis is sort of like in a mirror, in my opinion. You know, like if you're in, you're gonna die. If you're like not necessarily, but like if you're going in, you got to get the kills. So I mean, the blink really helps the kit. You know, you blink bore. No one expects it, especially with the time on our ult right now. Like you blink, instant stun like 2-3 people, bunch of burst damage here and there. And I mean, if you're in, if you were gonna die, like a sanctuary wouldn't have helped you. I'm sure it wouldn't help me. Like if I was gonna die, I was gonna die either way. It might have delayed my death by a second, but I think the blink is just too good to let go.
Yeah, we're watching some plays right now where that blink bore really helped you secure some kills onto Zapman. How does it feel to beat Zapman of all people?
I mean, wow. It's been a while since, like, I mean, this rivalry has been going on for what, a season?
It has. Like Challenger Cup, you two fought against each other over and over again. You know, you and PainDeViande have never beaten Aror and Zapman in Challenger Cup or a season until those 2 games. Do you know that?
Yeah.
You've beaten them, but you've never won a set.
Dueling.
Yeah, you've never won a set before. You've taken a game off them, but never a whole set.
All right, talk to me about the emotions after 2-0ing Eager like that, because that was not, you know, these close battles. We think of enemy, and we think of this team that likes to go late, that likes these close battles and really outshot calls in the late game. But this was just pure domination, front to back. What were the emotions like after you guys won those 2 games?
I mean, it was so hype, you know, like it's crazy because there was a lot going in on this game. Like, I mean, this whole match, these 2 matches were very, very fun to play. Shout out to Eager. They played very well. Like, they're great opponents. But I mean, like, all the hype that, like, the Twitter hype and, like, the hype and just, like, DreamHack on the line, you know, all the stuff on the line, 2-0ing Eager like that with such a strong lead, it really felt good, you know, like, you get so happy. Like, after playing like that, you know, I'm pretty sure, I want to say everyone on enemy played pretty much lights out. And it just feels so great, you know, coming in, being like kind of the people who were expected to lose, by many people. I mean, a lot of chat, a lot of everyone, a lot of people think that we're not as good as we are. So all the people thinking eager we're gonna 2-0 and then we show up and we literally, I mean, we dominated there and it feels awesome.
Hey, you just keep showing those people up. That's all you got to do. One question though, you've got another team up against you next week, Denial. Now you split with them last time. Do you reckon you'll 2-0 them?
Denial's a very strong team. I'm not gonna take any credit away from there. If we play like we've been playing as of recently, like today, I think we can very easily 2-0 them. Not taking anything away from them. I mean, I love all the people on Denial. They're all really good players, but I think we have the upper edge on them. We've got a lot of momentum behind us, and I think we can 2-0 them, yeah.
So just for your knowledge, if you're not aware, it's a win-and-in situation in your match against Denial. You need a single victory. Are you guys going to DreamHack or by the end of this week?
We're going to DreamHack, boys. We're going to DreamHack.
Okay.
Any shouts you want to give PandaCat before we let you go?
Yeah, a few shout-outs. Shout-outs to the Cage for holding me for a while. I mean, I had to unleash myself at one point. I think we've proved ourselves. I think I'm finally out. Shout-outs to Marauder, of course, being an initiate in the clan. Shout-outs to all of enemy supporters, all of our fans, you know, everyone who's been with us from day one. Shout-outs to everyone. Shout-outs to the team, you know, shout-outs to Marauder. Great plays from this game, second game. Shout-outs to everyone. I mean, it's an awesome season.
Fantastic performance, PandaCat. Congratulations and good luck next week. If you can find that one more win, you will be in. You've got 2 more games to go. Well, that's the end of it today. What a great day we've had.
That was pretty crazy here. Let's take a look at the top of North America. It is sore right now as the only team confirmed for DreamHack Enemy. They need a single victory. They still have Denial and Allegiance to face off against. And let's take a look here at the games we have for the rest of the week.
Well, it's Europe tomorrow, and we'll get a few more clinched. Potentially, if things start going the way of the Europeans. Hungry for more versus Panthera, though. 2 of the top teams at the moment. And then following that,
this is a really great game.
Paradigm Dig!
Because Panthera is secured, right? So Hunger for More, Paradigm, Dig, and Cringe Crew are all the teams competing for that 3rd spot. And they're all going to be playing tomorrow. You can't miss that.
And that's just Friday. We still got plenty more over the weekend as well. But I think that's it for us today.
I think that's it for us today.
Wow, that was quick. Anyway, enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been hi-rez TV from all the casters. Huh?
Don't forget them.
Okay. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all watching. Shout out to everybody from hi-rez Studios, as well as, of course, Becky's. We'll see you all tomorrow for Europe.
Never forget about Peckies.
Who?
Ever.